Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, where you get the most important news and stories from around the world every day. Subscribe my channel and click the bell icon to stay informed. The South China Sea is on edge. The waters, usually bustling with fishermen and cargo ships, now bristle with military presence. The air is thick with uncertainty, as the world's attention zeroes in on this volatile region. Today, August 31st, 2025, tensions over Scarborough Shoal have reached a crisis point. What was once a simmering dispute has erupted into a full-blown standoff, with both sides refusing to back down. Chinese and Philippine vessels are locked in a standoff, mere meters apart. The crews stand ready, eyes fixed on each other, knowing that a single misstep could ignite a dangerous escalation. This is no longer a diplomatic disagreement, it's a powder keg. The tension is palpable, with every maneuver scrutinized and every command carrying the weight of potential conflict. China's threats are now loud and backed by military might. The Chinese Navy has deployed additional warships, and official statements warn of firm countermeasures if their claims are challenged. Manila stands firm, but every mission is a high-stakes encounter. Filipino Coast Guard crews prepare for each patrol with a sense of duty and a sense of dread, knowing the risks they face in these contested waters. The days of simple maritime disputes are over. What used to be arguments over fishing rights and boundaries has transformed into a contest of strength and resolve, with military hardware replacing fishing nets. Beijing's strategy has shifted, with warships and fighter jets now patrolling contested waters. The show of force is unmistakable, signaling that China is prepared to defend its claims by any means necessary. Scarborough Shoal, a traditional fishing ground for Filipinos, is now a no-go zone. Local fishermen who once relied on these waters for their livelihoods watch helplessly from the shore as their boats sit idle, barred from the sea by the threat of conflict. The question is no longer if a confrontation will happen, but when. Each day brings new provocations, and the world wonders how long this fragile balance can hold before it tips into open conflict. The world watches, concerned about the peace of the Indo-Pacific region. International leaders call for restraint, but their words seem powerless against the rising tide of nationalism and military posturing. The situation is a direct challenge to international law and regional stability. Treaties and agreements are tested as diplomats scramble to find a peaceful solution, but the shadow of conflict looms large over every negotiation. The stakes are high, and the potential for conflict is real. Military commanders on both sides review their strategies, aware that any decision could have far-reaching consequences for the entire region. The world holds its breath, waiting for the next move. In homes and harbors across the region, ordinary people hope for peace, even as the drums of war grow louder with each passing day. China's military power is on full display. The People's Liberation Army Navy is now directly involved. Warships shadow and intimidate Philippine ships, signaling readiness for conflict. Chinese fighter jets conduct low-altitude flybys over Philippine vessels. This is a tactic designed to terrorize and assert dominance. China's goal is to make resistance too costly for the Philippines. The presence of warships and jets inside the Philippine EEZ is becoming normalized. The risk of miscalculation is alarmingly high. A collision or accidental discharge could trigger a wider conflict. The international community watches closely as China's actions challenge the rules-based order. The region is more dangerous than ever. The Philippine Navy is defined by courage but limited by resources. Its fleet includes 2 modern frigates, but they are vastly outnumbered. Older vessels provide presence but are outmatched by China's Navy. The Navy is modernizing, but progress is slow. Despite challenges, the spirit of the Philippine Navy remains unbroken. Their role is to assert sovereignty, not win a naval battle. They patrol with duty and patriotism, a visible symbol of defiance. The odds are daunting, but their resolve is unwavering. The Philippines stands firm in its maritime rights. The U.S. Navy is actively maintaining stability in one of the world's most contested maritime regions. Every day, American warships patrol vast stretches of ocean, their presence a constant reminder of U.S. commitment to peace and order. Sailors stand vigilant on deck, ready to respond at a moment's notice, embodying the Navy's enduring mission to safeguard international waters. American warships conduct freedom of navigation operations near disputed features, asserting the principle that these waters remain open to all. By sailing close to contested islands and rocky shoals, the U.S. Navy challenges excessive maritime claims and demonstrates that no single nation can dominate these critical sea lanes. The message is clear. The U.S. stands firmly with its ally, the Philippines. Through joint patrols and high-level meetings, the two navies reinforce their partnership, sending a powerful signal of unity and shared resolve to the region and beyond. The U.S. 7th Fleet, based in Japan, is a formidable force and the largest forward-deployed U.S. naval fleet. With dozens of ships, submarines, and aircraft, it serves as the backbone of American naval power in the Indo-Pacific. At the heart of this fleet is an aircraft carrier strike group, a floating airbase capable of projecting power across thousands of miles. Fighter jets launch from its deck, ready to defend allies or respond to crises at a moment's notice, underscoring the Navy's unmatched reach and flexibility. Joint exercises with regional partners, including the Philippines, Japan, and Australia, enhance alliances and build trust. These complex maneuvers improve interoperability, ensuring that allied navies can operate seamlessly together in times of need. U.S. naval assets provide crucial intelligence support to the Philippines, tracking potential threats and sharing real-time information. Surveillance aircraft and advanced radar systems help monitor vast ocean areas, giving allies a strategic edge. The Mutual Defense Treaty between the U.S. and the Philippines stands as a deterrent against Chinese aggression. This decades-old agreement commits both nations to come to each other's aid in the event of an armed attack, reinforcing the security architecture of the region. An attack on Philippine forces would invoke U.S. defense commitments, making it clear that aggression against one is an attack against both. Regular joint briefings and coordinated patrols ensure that both navies are prepared to respond together. The U.S. presence helps keep China's ambitions in check, deterring unilateral actions and promoting dialogue over confrontation. By shadowing Chinese vessels and maintaining a visible presence, the U.S. Navy signals its readiness to uphold international law. The 7th Fleet is a critical backstop for the Philippines, offering support, reassurance, and rapid response capabilities. Its ships often operate alongside Philippine patrol boats, strengthening deterrence and building confidence among allies. The U.S. does not take a position on sovereignty disputes but is unequivocal about its treaty obligations. Through diplomatic engagement and public statements, American officials reaffirm their commitment to regional peace and stability. The security guarantee provided by the U.S. Navy is the ultimate deterrent, assuring allies that they will not stand alone in the face of threats. Defensive formations and constant readiness send a clear message to potential adversaries. The U.S. Navy's presence is a stabilizing force in the region, promoting freedom of navigation, supporting allies, and helping to prevent conflict. As tensions persist, the Navy's vigilance and strength remain vital to maintaining peace in the South China Sea and beyond. The Philippines opts for a civilian-led response at Scarborough Shoal. Using Coast Guard ships frames the issue as law enforcement, not military conflict. This denies China a pretext for military escalation. Filipino crews document Chinese harassment, exposing aggression to the world. This strategy wins international support and sympathy. Sending the Navy could provoke a military response from China. The goal is to win international legitimacy, not a naval war. The Philippines stands firm, using transparency and restraint. The onus of escalation is on China. The Philippines plays the long game, defending sovereignty without firing a shot. Tensions are evident in collisions and satellite images. Chinese vessels have rammed Philippine boats, causing damage. These are deliberate acts of intimidation. Satellite imagery verifies these incidents, cutting through propaganda. China's military drills near disputed areas send a signal of intimidation. These exercises are watched with concern, revealing potential invasion plans. The security environment is deteriorating. China's actions are part of a coordinated campaign of coercion. The evidence tells a story of a superpower imposing its will. China excels in gray zone tactics, blurring lines between peace and war. The Coast Guard and maritime militia are key players. Fishing boats, seemingly civilian, are used for intimidation. Water cannons and mounted weapons blur civilian and military lines. These tactics create a sense of hopelessness for the Philippines. It's a strategy of attrition, avoiding global condemnation. Gray zone warfare is difficult to counter without escalation. China challenges the international order, creating dilemmas for the Philippines. This modern warfare uses intimidation and ambiguity. The Philippines faces an impossible position. The BRP Sierra Madre, a rusted World War II-era landing ship, stands as a powerful symbol of Philippine sovereignty in the contested waters of the South China Sea. Though battered by time and the relentless sea, its presence is a daily reminder of the Philippines' determination to defend its territory. Grounded deliberately on the shallow reef of Second Thomas Shoal in 1999, the Sierra Madre was transformed into a makeshift military outpost. Its strategic location allows the Philippines to maintain a foothold in these disputed waters, serving as both a watchful guardian and a warning to those who would challenge Manila's claims. For the Philippine government, maintaining this outpost is non-negotiable. Filipino Marines stationed aboard endure harsh conditions, isolation, and constant tension, but their resolve never wavers. Their presence is a living testament to the nation's commitment to protect its maritime rights. Any attempt by China to seize the Sierra Madre would be seen as an act of war, a direct challenge not only to Philippine sovereignty, but also to regional stability. The standoffs between Chinese and Philippine vessels here are tense, with the world watching closely. In such a scenario, the U.S.-Philippine Mutual Defense Treaty would likely be invoked, drawing in powerful allies and raising the stakes for all involved. The Sierra Madre is more than a ship, it is a tripwire for a potential conflict in the region. The outpost's continued existence is a daily act of defiance and resilience. Filipino Marines, armed and vigilant, stand ready to defend their post against any threat, no matter how overwhelming. Resupplying the Sierra Madre is a logistical challenge, requiring ingenuity and courage. Small boats must run a gauntlet of Chinese vessels to deliver food, water, and essential supplies to the Marines on board. Each successful resupply mission is celebrated as a small but significant victory against Chinese pressure, a demonstration of Filipino resourcefulness and determination in the face of adversity. The stark contrast between the Sierra Madre's rusted hull and the sleek modern Chinese patrol ships highlights the asymmetrical nature of this conflict. It is a David versus Goliath struggle, where resolve and ingenuity are as important as firepower. Yet, the Sierra Madre holds immense strategic and symbolic power. Its battered frame, crowned by the Philippine flag, inspires pride and unity among Filipinos, reminding them of what is at stake. China is well aware that any attempt to take the shoal by force would have devastating consequences, potentially igniting a wider conflict that could draw in other nations and destabilize the region. Despite the challenges, the Sierra Madre's significance is stronger than ever. The Marines who maintain and defend it are not just holding a ship, they are holding the line for their country. As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the Sierra Madre stands as a testament to the Philippines' unwavering resolve, a rusty red line that marks the boundary of a nation's courage and commitment. The region teeters on the brink of conflict. Each aggressive move by China pushes the region closer to war. A miscalculation could ignite the South China Sea. The stakes are about regional peace and global order. The U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty raises the stakes. An attack on Philippine forces could lead to U.S. military response. A superpower clash would be catastrophic for the global economy. Southeast Asia faces the challenge of defending sovereignty without war. ASEAN's unity is tested by China's assertiveness. The future of the Indo-Pacific is uncertain and perilous. The world hopes for diplomacy and restraint. We are one mistake away from a conflict nobody can afford.